Hello and welcome to my presentation on three really specific factors that have a lot of relevancy within the cattle industry. What I did is I picked out three surveys from the USDA from 2020, and the three that I layered on top of one another are cattle production by county, which you'll see with these red boxes indicated by the size of the box. The second one is corn production by county, and you'll see that indicated by these blue circles. And finally, I have tractors owned per county, which I went ahead and divided by population per county, and I'll explain the thought process behind that later. Now, in the cattle industry, there's a couple of different parts of it that have to interact with one another in order to get the calf from the ranch raised up and eventually put on the feedlot, fed out, and butchered. And I think the best way to start there is going to be the cattle industry and the cow calf part of that specifically. I think if you look here in the plain states and also out west, you see a huge amount of cattle sold, and a lot of these ranches on that you'll see here are going to be cow calf ranches, and the difference there between people who are cow calf and someone on a farm who might just feed out calves is they're raising those babies. They've got mama cows, and they are raising them up and feeding them, getting them ready on range so that they can go to the feed yard. And then the feedlot is the second interaction. That is where you take those year and a half old calves and you're feeding them grain, mostly corn and soybean meal. That's going to get them fattened up and just to the right size that customers like to eat. They're nice big steaks that you can buy in the supermarket. And that's generally going to be in this corn belt, which is really interesting because you'll see how these feedlots, uh, it costs a lot of money to haul corn places. So you aren't sticking a feedlot in western Wyoming when you could have a feedlot in Iowa and you don't have to haul corn quite as far. A couple observations I made just from looking at this map. I mean, we've got a real good cow calf belt here. That's what I'm gonna start calling that. I hope that becomes popularized. But you see this general area in the high plains stretching from northwestern Iowa and then across to Wyoming. And I mean, I know the numbers are a little bit their numbers are a little bit weird just due to different factors, but there's lots of cattle up here in upper plains too. But I think this is pretty indicative of where they're getting those calves from. And I guess obviously we also have the very famous Corn Belt, which is located mainly in Midwestern states, and that's where you find a lot of your feedlots. I should find a map of if there's a map of feedlots out there. I think that and the relationship with corn would be really interesting. But then I guess for my third layer, I want tractors, and tractors are super important in relation to the cattle industry. I mean, you can't farm or ranch the way we do today without tractors. And I went ahead and divided that by population. And the reason that I did that is because when you have the map without the division there, it's there's tractors in cities too, but they're just used for different jobs. And so I wanted to make sure that the tractors that I was looking at was indicative, like ag tractors. And the best way I could think to do that was simply to divide it by population, given those smaller rural counties uh, more of a spot on the map, I guess. Um, but yeah, I just found this really interesting, and I think it gives us a great opportunity to see especially how this corn crop interacts with where feedlots are at, and how ranchers get their calves from these ranches over here in the cow calf belt, and get them onto feedlots in the Midwest and the Eastern Plains. Just I think it uh, really nails home that the High Plains and the Midwest are the backbone of the beef industry and have an incredibly crucial role in making sure that we keep our country fed with beef and beef continues to be uh, successful to this day.